Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we have some new stories for you. Am I the idiot for bringing my sister-in-law's wallet to the restaurant when she conveniently always forgets it? My, female, 28, sister-in-law Amy, female, 26, always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel, and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet, or domes up with some excuses as to why she can't pay her share. She has implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I have just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back. She never has. She had made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I wouldn't be paying her bill. This is where I might be the a-hole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from an episode of 2.5 Men. As we were leaving, her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said no, we need one bill, because she forgot her wallet again. I reached in my purse and said, "This wallet?" She was extremely furious. She said that I should not have touched or grabbed her wallet. So am I the idiot for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant? Edit, wow. Thanks for all the awards. Geez, lol. So many comments that I can't keep up, but thank you to everyone who had something to say. Edit 2, Amy just called me. She saw this post and she yelled at me for bad-mouthing her on the internet. Honestly, I don't care. Amy, hopefully reading all these comments is a wake-up call for you. No, OP is not the a-hole, but her sister-in-law is. She is constantly taking advantage of OP financially, and sister-in-law has no right. Even if OP is able to pay for the bill, she is under no obligation to always pay. Even more, if OP wasn't the one who made the dinner invitation. These are the kinds of things that make me distance myself from people. People who think they have the right to something they don't and play the victim when called for it. And even if OP has invaded the sister-in-law's privacy by going through her stuff and taking her wallet, screw it. This invasion, as the sister-in-law calls it, is justified against being taken advantage of by her, once again. Sister-in-law needs to stop feeling entitled to OP's and her husband's money and make plans that she can afford. That's how the world works. OP also gives more information in the comments about her husband's relationship with his family. He's the only male in his family, and frankly his sisters, mother, have always taken advantage of him like this in the past. Now they've found a new target, me. They've got it in their minds that their poor family has married into a rich family or something like that. I'm by no means rich, but they didn't have it easy growing up. I don't personally think this is an excuse for being a mooch. She works, she has her own money now. She's not in any dire financial situation, she can pay her own way. There's lots beneath the surface. His family is toxic. All of the women are like damsels in distress and he's always paid the way for them because they've bullied him into doing so. He's been manipulated so much that it's hard for him to say no, or even to cut them off. I would prefer to go no contact, but I think that's a decision he needs to come to on his own. It's hard to break this cycle without his family painting me as the witch who is trying to get him away from his family, even though there's a good reason. We've made progress though. A few years ago, it would have been sister-in-law outright demanding money from my husband, and him giving in because of her guilt-tripping and manipulative tactics. He's since learned to simply say no, so she's gotten a little more sneaky. My husband is starting to see this more. And honestly, I'm waiting for the day he just says F this and cuts them off. So thanks for listening to my rant, we'll get there. Baby steps. Lots of people telling me that he needs to get it together, not realizing that when you've been manipulated for years on end, it's not exactly easy to undo. It doesn't help that when we talked about these kinds of things in therapy, the therapist couldn't hold himself back and asked my husband if he was an idiot for letting his family treat him like that. It was a fair point, but he felt attacked in a place that is supposed to be a safe place. It was kind of a setback for him and this whole problem. And as OP mentioned, sister-in-law found the post. Here is her comment. This is Amy. My friend told me they saw this post and everyone is saying I am a leech. The thing my sister-in-law did not tell you all is she has no problem paying for her own sisters and she always singles me out and expects me to always pay. She takes her sisters to restaurants and never makes them pay. Ever since she is with my brother is so cheap. He used to always help me and my mom, because we don't have a lot of money, and he stopped doing that ever since he's with her. He used to always help me and my mom with our bus tickets to come visit to see him and to visit my niece. Now, he always says he doesn't have money. So maybe I am wrong for always forgetting my wallet, but it's not fair that she always pays for her own sisters but not for me. She would never take her sister's wallet and embarrass her at a restaurant trying to make her pay. Taking my wallet and sneaking it to the restaurant when she can afford to pay for things is so messed up. In our culture, the older sibling always pays. She is so cheap. Why can't she just treat me? Why does she have to only treat her sister and make me look like a bad person, when I expect the same treatment as her sisters and she has so much money to waste? I hope people don't think I'm an a-hole when they learn more about the situation. And OP's replied to Amy's comment. Wow, I can't. My sisters are in university working their asses off to pay their own tuition, so yes, I treat them occasionally. They don't come to my house expecting me to pay for everything. How much money I earn is not anyone's damn business. How I spend my money is not anyone's damn business. My husband is cheap now because we have a mortgage to pay and a child to take care of. I also didn't have much money to my name at a time in my life, but I never mooched off of anyone or expected anyone to pay my way. Not even my own parents. You figure that out on your own. Get the hell off my post and go complain to someone who cares. Wow, what did you think of this whole story? Let's read some comments before going to the update. Not the idiot, but you totally should have flipped the switch, left your wallet at home, only brought your license so she had to cover the whole bill, then never taken her out to a restaurant again. Wish I thought of that. Not the idiot. Awesome power move. But when is your husband gonna step up and make her pay her share? They've bullied and manipulated him like this his whole life. He's gotten so used to it that he doesn't see the bigger issue. Old habits die hard. Trying to help him stand up for himself, but it's an uphill battle. She made the reservation and invited you. Etiquette says she would be responsible for 100% of that bill. Not the idiot. Not the idiot. Why do you and your husband still allow her to stay with you or choose expensive restaurants or even go out with her? I think you need to talk to your husband about this behavior. I am very curious as to why he hasn't stepped in and shut this down and wonder if he is the one encouraging her to do this behind your back. Stop eating out with her. When she makes a reservation, tell her to have a nice evening and DoorDash yourself a nice meal. Not the idiot, I would have done the same. She's only furious because you called her on her crap and beat her at her own game. If she genuinely forgot her wallet, she would be thanking you for having the forethought to remember it for her, since she's so forgetful. Update: am I the idiot for bringing my sister-in-law's wallet to the restaurant when she conveniently always forgets it? Some answers to common questions. Why does dear husband keep letting Amy in? Without getting into too much detail, he has always been expected to pay for nice things for the females in his family. He's also been kind of scammed out of large sums of money by his family. That's slowly been shut down over time, and we're working on shutting down this dinner/outings thing. He allows this because he feels bad that they don't have a lot of money. It's sad, but that's how his family got along for a very long time, being dishonest about anything and everything to get their hands on some extra money or extra financial help. I could write a book on some of the things I've seen them do over the years. It hasn't been easy to show these people how wrong this is. He has talked to Amy about being cheap, has had come to Jesus talks with her, and genuinely has always felt that each next time would be different. We've been in therapy addressing this, and he's learned to set boundaries. This restaurant thing is a boundary that he hadn't yet set. It's hard to set all boundaries all at once, when you actually had no clue what boundaries were, and have had no boundaries for years. Does he pay too? We are married. My money is his money. When I mentioned Amy specifies I should pay, I meant more that she specifies since I make good money, we as a whole shouldn't be cheap. What was the point if you ended up paying? I knew Amy wasn't going to pay. She always finds a way not to pay. I went to the restaurant fully expecting to foot the bill. I did this because I saw it on a show and thought it would be funny to do in real life, to be completely honest. The point wasn't really to get her to pay, it was more to show her that the "forgot my wallet" excuse was getting old. Is Amy banned from visiting? Fortunately, this post turned out to be a good thing. Dear husband has always had it in his head that Amy is a good person and has her reasons for being sneaky and cheap, like I mentioned above. In his head, it's not her fault she is the way she is, it's the circumstances of their upbringing that cause her to make bad decisions. But, seeing Amy's reply to my post and people's response to Amy has really changed his thinking. That's the first time Amy has outright admitted that she's purposely taking advantage. Reading some of the other comments has also been eye-opening for him. So, dear husband has told Amy that she's not welcome here, at least not for a long while. Judgment. Thanks for lots of not the idiots, but I liked one commenter's "sometimes it's okay to be the ass." I think that's exactly what it was here. It was an ass move, but also outweighed by Amy's a-holery. Thanks again, this is the end of this, I won't be giving any more updates or comments. Well, so that's it. I hope the best for you and your family, OP. And that Amy has the wake-up call she needs. Are you enjoying the videos so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the last story. Am I the idiot for refusing to take my roommate's son for a few hours and causing him to miss the birth of his baby? I, 22 years old, am in college. I live in a rental apartment with my roommate, Simon, 28 years old, and his 4-year-old son. The mother of the child is deceased and he got together with his now ex-girlfriend, but broke up 4 months ago. He was expecting a baby with her and the baby was born this past Wednesday. I was in the middle of studying and preparing for my exam when Simon barged in telling me his ex-girlfriend's mom just called him and said she was in labor, and he had to go to the hospital. He started begging me to take his son for a few hours, probably till midnight, so he could be there for his baby's birth. I declined and said I had so little time left and needed to focus on studying. He begged, saying that I wouldn't even feel his son's presence, but the kid is so hyperactive and hard to deal with basically. He started raising his voice at me saying I was being mean for no reason, and he had no one else he knows that could take his son. I told him he could have prepared for this by hiring a babysitter. He started going off saying that I was being unhelpful on purpose. I told him to get out of my room. He said he'd just leave the kid with me then. I told him I'd call the cops as soon as he'd do that, which made him back off. He was fuming, he took his son and left and came back the next day telling me that I just caused him to miss the birth of his baby and that he'll never forgive me for what I'd done. He's been avoiding me since it happened. Am I the idiot? No, generally speaking, OP wasn't the idiot. OP couldn't take care of the child. OP was busy and needed to prepare for the exam. I think we've all been in a similar situation, but in this case, OP could be a little more understanding with the roommate's need. It was an emergency. There was a baby about to be born. Of course the roommate should have already planned for someone, besides OP, to take care of his son when the time came, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. So OP wasn't in a hole, but I understand why the friend is upset. And what do you guys think? Would you do the same as OP, or would you take care of the child at the risk of not being well prepared for your exam? Now let's go to the comments. Not the idiot. If he had asked you in advance or his babysitter dropped out or something, then that would be different. The fact he knew the baby would arrive at some point and didn't make any kind of arrangements makes him the a-hole for springing it on you. What would he have done if you weren't home? Was that his plan all along, to just drop the child on you? Crazy. Do you consider him your friend? If you consider him a friend, you are 1000% the off for not helping out in extremes like this. It's not a trip to the store or dentist. It's the birth of his child. He can't just do it later. Don't be surprised if this ruins y'all's friendship. Friends help. If you don't care about this dude and you only really know of him 'cause you share the house, then no, you're not the idiot, because you don't expect people you hardly know to watch your kid. Technically not the idiot, but good grief, where is people's compassion nowadays? Why do you care if he's avoiding you? You clearly didn't care about him, so why should he care about you? Everyone sucks here. He should have planned better, but it cost nothing to be kind to the person you live with. Unpopular take, but you are the idiot. Not everyone can plan when they go into labor. It's not like he was asking you to watch him so he could go and kick ball or something. He was asking you to watch him so he could be present for his child's birth. You could have done it just this one time, and then not again. Not the idiot. It was his responsibility to find a suitable babysitter. You weren't it. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.